You're
Don't be afraid.
One of my favorite things.
He eats really fast.
Yeah. No little feeling, please.
Oh, very
Whoa.
nice.
Wow.
It looks
Oozing out
delicious.
from the top.
Not like yesterday.
Delicious.
Hello, Tomodachis.
Hello, this is Makoto.
And this is Eric.
Today we're gonna watch Mike Chen.
Yes, I think we need to do a little bit of homework before we kick off Dumpling Week.
Yes. As you know, the Uncle Roger's video also, he's very energetic.
Yes, so today we'll be watching Easy Delicious Chinese Pork Dumplings by
Oh.
Mike Chen.
So, Baozi. Baozi?
Baozi.
Baozi.
Yes.
Ah, Baozi.
And in Japanese we call it nikuman or butaman.
The video probably related to the last video Uncle Roger released. This is also dumplings.
Yes, so this is into the category of steamed dumplings. So baozi, it's yeast leavened, so it's not a skin that doesn't rise. This one will rise when you steam it. Anyway, if you want to join us for Dumpling Week, feel free to give us a like and subscribe, and let's get on with the video.
Okay, let's watch.
Hey guys, this is Mike Chen. Thanks so much for watching. Pretty cool, right? It's pretty.
Oh.
Thank you, Jen, for
Feels like
making
an
this.
old video,
This is
nostalgic.
Maybe over here. Alright, this is a very special episode of Strictly Dumpling because never in Strictly Dumpling history, I mean, I've shown you guys a lot of dumplings, I've eaten a lot of dumplings, but I never showed you how to make a dumpling before. Now, in this video, I'm not going to show you guys how to make a traditional Chinese dumpling or jiaozi that's coming up, but I am going to show you guys how to make a Chinese pork bun. And it is a type of dumpling. This is like the jiaozi's cousin. It's bigger, it's plumper, it's just as delicious. And guys, we're gonna keep it pretty simple in this video. I'm gonna show you how to make a simple pork bun. The reason I'm doing that and not doing like a cabbage pork bun or like a green bean pork bun is because once you master this, you can put any vegetables in here. You can add celery, mushrooms, cabbage, carrots, tofu, leeks. Most vegetables would pair up great in a pork bun because
Maybe
all that
dried
pork
tofu.
fattiness is gonna sink into the vegetables. Gonna make it taste delicious. So today we're gonna make just a pork bun, but do not underestimate this thing. This little baby is fluffy, it's soft, it's juicy, it's porky.
But
You're
don't be
gonna love
afraid.
it. One of my favorite things ever.
Looks good.
He made it already?
Maybe.
Alright, let me show you how to make this.
Yes.
You know, after I
we would like to see.
Oh, he eats really fast.
Yeah, he is.
Logo is
Here's all the
different.
ingredients you need to make
I haven't
your
seen
pork
that logo
buns.
in a really
Some
long
parsnip
time.
paper, 1 teaspoon of finely chopped ginger, 1 stick of green onions, some sugar, white pepper powder, sesame oil, oyster sauce, Chinese rice cooking wine, soy
can't hear
sauce,
it.
salt,
Yes.
some yeast, cornstarch, all-purpose flour, and of course some pork. A couple of things I want to mention. First of all, that beautiful, it's my tape. My tape sucked. Also, when it comes to the dough,
Bad
you can
tape.
100% use all-purpose flour, but if you do have access to it to a Chinese supermarket, try to get this 中筋面粉. This does translate to all-purpose
Mid-strength.
flour, but this dough is specifically used to make dumplings and buns. So this is going to make your
Chinese
dumplings and
American,
buns
right? Yes.
come
So
out
he
a
can
lot
speak
whiter.
Chinese as
And if
well.
you use the
Yes,
all-purpose
so he
flour
speaks
from the
Mandarin
Western
dialect.
supermarket, your bun's going to come out not as white. It's going to be a little yellowish, but it's going to taste just as good. Something else I would invest in, if you have a regular steamer, that's 100% okay. But I love bamboo steamers because what it does is that the bamboo actually soaks up a lot of the moisture, and that way the excess moisture doesn't get on your buns. So let's get started on our buns of anti-steel, of fluffy, soft. Let's just get started. First,
But actually in Japan, it's better not to use the bamboo one because, as you know, we get very hot and very humid summers. So if you don't dry those properly, you're going to get a lot of black mold. So it's going to cubby. Right, let's continue.
let's work on our dough. Take a bowl, add 3/4 cups of warm water, add a teaspoon of sugar, get that little
So
mix,
the
add a
yeast.
teaspoon of yeast, then just leave it alone for about 10 to 15 minutes until the yeast activates. When your yeast is forming bubbles at the top of the water, that means it's done. That aside. Now take a big mixing bowl and add 2 cups of flour. Take your water with the yeast, mix a little bit, and just add it in 3 intervals. Each time you add some water, add your water slowly into the flour and just stir it.
So this method is very basic. Many people
now
use
just
this
get your
method.
hands
to
in
make
there and start kneading the dough. If you feel like you don't have enough water mixed in with your flour, just add a teensy bit more. What you don't want to do is add too much moisture. You don't want your dough to be too soft. You'd rather have it a little harder, a little stiffer than
Rubber
too
gloves.
soft. You're gonna knead your dough for about 10 minutes until it's smooth on the surface. Make sure you put the dough in a big enough container because it's going to expand twice in size. And just cover that in plastic wrap. And we're going to find some place warm to store this for about an hour and a half or until, again, this dough rises twice in size. And if you don't have a warm place in your house, what I like to do is warm up my oven just a little bit. Now keep in mind, don't turn your oven heat too high and you're cooking the dough. Just keep it around 80 degrees Fahrenheit atmosphere. While we wait for the dough to rise, let's prepare our pork. So chop up our scallions. We're going to cut these into very small pieces. So we're going to dice up our ginger.
Mike's camera work improved so much compared to now.
Add your 12 ounces of pork, gingers, and scallions. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Quarter teaspoon of salt. Quarter teaspoon of sugar. 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. 1 tablespoon of rice wine. 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. Then you're going to take almost a half a cup of water and mix it in slowly and in 3 intervals. And each time you mix the water in, stir the meat and all the ingredients really hard. And you'll notice as you're stirring, the texture of the ground pork is gonna change. Right now, it's pretty strandy. You can see all the different strands. But as I'm kind of whipping it with my chopsticks, it's gonna turn really mushy. And the meat is gonna soak up all the water and all that sauce.
You're basically causing all the proteins to bundle up and they trap water better that way.
Alright, there you go. That's what's gonna go inside your bun. Looks appetizing. Been a couple of hours and the dough is done. See how it's like, it's weight.
So you also made it, right? At the curry house.
This is the correct way to make Japanese steam bun.
Finally.
No need to use curry. No need to use no. So we made ours after the Great British Bake Off. And like Mikey says, a lot of it's just feeling. You want to have a feel for the dough. We can't give exact measurements because depending on the humidity in the air, the dryness of the air, the amount of humidity in your flour, there are a lot of factors that can affect the dough. So like he said, do it by feeling, make sure it's smooth, and let it rest. His production quality is amazing now.
So this was how many years ago?
Let's see. This was 2017.
Oh, really?
So
only 3 years?
4.
4 years already.
So in 4 years, so much improvement. But it's great to see because I've watched his channel grow from a really long time ago. So
you like him?
I watch his stuff a lot.
All right, let's continue.
Bigger now, and it's all smelling really awesome. And look how gentle it is.
Bubbles.
And you guys see all the holes here? That's why we're gonna take this and start kneading it again and get rid of all the air pockets.
Yes.
I think I'm getting drunk off the aroma of this dough.
So yeast smells so nice in bread.
That's why.
Yeah.
You did, right?
This is like
Also,
delicious ectoplasm right here. Gonna knead this out. Get rid of all the air pockets. Take your dough, and we are just gonna slice this in half.
very fluffy.
Wrap up the half we're not using. Half of the dough should get you about 6 baozi. So we're just gonna go ahead and roll this dough
Into a snake.
Now we're gonna cut this into 6 even chunks.
Okay.
Oh, good at cutting.
One, give it a squish, and just make it
very
as flat
similar.
And the next is a filling.
Yes.
So little filling,
Now,
no
take your rolling
little
pin,
filling,
just
please.
hold your dough.
10%?
And this one is
So what you wanna do when
no,
you
the
roll
side,
it out
on this
is that
side,
you
right?
want
No.
this part here,
But
the
he's
inner
using
part
a
here to be thicker because that's
Western
the bottom of
rolling
your bun, and that's gonna have to handle a lot of the juice. That's why you want
have to
this
default.
inner section right here to be thicker.
Yes,
so
that's
what we're
right.
gonna do is just roll the outer section
Just the
a little
edges
bit.
thin.
You see? There's still like a padding on the inner section, but the outside
big
is
roll.
thin. You want to roll it until
Not
it's
necessary, I think.
slightly bigger than the palm of our hand.
That's right.
And you want to get it as round as possible. There you go. You see how it's really thin along the edges, but there's still like padding here? That's what you want to do. And it's slightly bigger than the palm of my hand. So let's make another one. Take our dough, press it, and just roll out the outer edges. Now let's start wrapping the buns. Put in a tablespoon of filling. Now what you're gonna do is keep your thumb on the inside of the wrapper and just simply kind of fold it into a fan. See that?
That's right.
Just go like that, right here. Go like that, squeeze, and then use this finger here to help push the dough over into the fold. And your thumb is gonna keep the filling inside the dough.
But don't finger the dough. Don't finger.
It reminds me of the last day's video. Like this. Oh.
But that was because there was too much filling, right? So he had to push it in. But really, your finger should be resting on it just to hold everything in place.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yesterday, chef instructor was bad. Finger, not to the finger inside.
And the dough, there's just something not right about that dough, I think. But this dough looks good.
Yeah. All right, continue.
Put too much. Don't go too far.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Your goal is to do over 10 of these little folds. So
just imagine a zigzag.
A little bit. And then as you're doing it, pull up a little bit on your dough. Thumb should always kind of be positioned here at the end of the day. So fold, little fold, little fold. Don't squeeze like the middle part. Just squeeze the top as you're filling down. And then just twist. And that's how you make a beautiful
very
little
nice
dumpling with a little hole on top. This is called the fish mouth because it kind of looks like a goldfish mouth. And that's what your thumb is doing. I don't think you saw what my thumb did. Let's do another one. Thumb on the inside. Make a little fan. Keep making the little fan. Pinch the very, very top. Alright, this is the tricky part. This is the part that got me stumped for like a long time. Now when you get to the end, it's gonna be like this. You're still gonna make another little fan, but here, what I'm gonna do is my finger is gonna go in and my thumb is kind of gonna go into this whole opening. And I'm gonna squeeze this part, you see here, and this part together, okay? This part and this part together. So I'm just gonna squeeze that together, and also I'm gonna kind of just like twist it, and there you go. That's how you make a little goldfish mouth.
Already better explanation than yesterday's video.
Just a little bit of filling in this one so I can show you guys the fold so
Even
you can
if
see it
he's
better.
not the chef instructor.
Thumb on the inside. Finger pushing the ridge over. Squeeze the top. Alright, keep doing that. Little bitty ridges. Alright, you want to do, like I said, 10 folds at least on a single bun.
So keep going, keep going, keep going.
And again, this is always the tricky part, closing point, all right? Still gonna push this little ridge over. I'm going to stick this part with this part, then use my thumb and stick both of those parts on this part. Hopefully that makes sense. So the ridge is gonna come, then I'm gonna twist it a little more and just kind of tap it on that side, and then just shape it a little bit, and that's how you get a beautiful little bun here.
If you're not confident, you can just close the whole thing up. It's okay.
It's the bun earthquake. It's the bun shake. And this is where the parchment paper comes in. I took my paper and cut it into little squares, and I'm just gonna put my dumpling on top of the paper and lay it inside my little wooden tub here. And just let it sit in a warm place for about another 30 minutes. And these things are going to grow even larger. When you're ready to cook, add some warm to hot water in your steamer. Sit the balls on top, and then just let them chill there for about 10 to 15 minutes until it rises a bit more. After 10 minutes, bring the water to a boil. Wait till the buns boil, and then cook it for an additional 20 minutes. Once the buns are done, and you turn off the fire, and this is really, really important. Do not take the cover off. Otherwise, your buns are gonna sag, and nobody wants saggy buns. So keep the top on for another 5 minutes.
Yes, definitely yes.
Time's up. Let's see what we got.
Oh, very nice.
Wow, look how pretty these things are. I mean, these are just the most adorable little buns ever. They kind of look like my little dumpling logo. These are so soft and tender, and juice is just kind of oozing out from the top.
Not like yesterday.
Delicious. Now, before we dig in, let's make some sauce for the buns. I like just a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of Chinese vinegar, sesame oil.
I think you know which vinegar that is.
Some hot oil.
No,
so there you go.
Black vinegar.
Just take one of these babies out of here. Piping hot, absolutely
looks good.
Beautiful. And like I mentioned, if you just used all-purpose flour from a Western supermarket, your buns are probably going to be a little more yellowish than mine. But just remember, the taste is all it matters. Let's see how this tastes. Dip it in my sauce a little bit. I think I put too much oil in this sauce. Cheers.
Oh, looks so fluffy.
Yeah.
Oh. That is delicious. Oh my goodness. I'm not. Wow.
Yeah, it looks good.
The pork that melted
Juicy.
into the bun. So the
Feeling.
bun itself
The
is
fat
just like
coming
it's just
out. Oh.
beaming
Not the
with
little
flavor.
filling.
Let me just
Maybe
open this for you
no
guys. I'll see what's
90%.
inside.
Lots of filling.
Lovely
Very
pork
good.
Filling.
So Japanese
on the
is
inside.
10%.
See how juicy it is? If I squeeze it
This
just a little
one
bit, you see
maybe
it just coming out of that
70,
filling.
80%.
Even the bun itself, without any dipping sauce, look at that. That's all fatty,
Yes, the
porky,
pork sauce goes
delicious
into the
juice
bread.
soaked into that bun. Don't even need any dipping sauce. This is good on its own. See all that juice that's
Oh,
in the bun
juicy.
right now? This is why I love using ground pork that's either 70-30 or 20-80. You're gonna get a lot of this fatty goodness. But still, with the dipping sauce, you guys don't even need to make the dipping sauce
I'm
all that
already
fancy.
hungry.
If you
Yes.
can't handle the spice, just put a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of vinegar. Or, if you don't want to mess with this whole thing, just dip it in a little bit of sriracha. That's all you need. I already finished 2 of the
Sriracha.
buns
Yes.
in like a minute. This thing is seriously ridiculously good. So there you go, guys. The first quasi-dumpling tutorial video on this channel. And please go home and try this because a lot of you, I know, don't have access to maybe restaurants that make pork buns. And trust me, if you follow the recipe, it's going to taste just as good as any store. So go home and show off to your friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your parents, whoever it is. They're really going to be impressed when they taste this. Alright guys, all the ingredients to this recipe is in my description box. I try to find links on Amazon to ingredients that you might not be able to find so easily in
really?
Western supermarkets, so hopefully that's helpful. Definitely go try this recipe. Like I always say, if I can do it, you can do it. Let me know how your buns turn out. And until we eat again, I'll see you later.
He always makes food look so tasty.
It looks very tasty.
Yes. And if you want to try eating it the Japanese way, you just need a little bit of Japanese mustard or karashi.
So Japanese pork bun called oyaki.
Yes, and as we mentioned before, you mix the ground pork with sesame seeds and sesame and pickled mustard greens. Ah, nice color. So that is the color we are looking for. A nice golden brown.
We are not gonna make these pork buns, but we're gonna make
An assortment of different dumplings for this
Yes.
week. And yeah, I think we're going to kick it off with the easiest one here in Japan, which is gyoza,
gyoza, chaozu.
jiaozi. And I'll be making some suigyoza as well, so suijiao.
Ah, okay.
So that's boiled dumplings. And yeah, if you want to see that, feel free to tune in and give us a like and subscribe. And we'll see you for more dumplings.
Dumpling week. Sayonara.
Bye-bye.
We're gonna make chaozu tonight.
Yes. And then I also think